Well, hello there, everybody. How are y'all doing? So good to see you. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of this fabulous journey we're on. So good to see you. Happy Prosperity Day, second day of the week. And yeah, speaking prosperity over us all. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Words count. And we're going to be talking about, the fact that how important words are spoken here have a direct and immediate impact on where we all are going, the other side. So favor be with us. And the thing that I have to say is that, well, it seems like we're going to spend a while over there. So if we're here for a purpose, then there must be a purpose. If we can, and in fact we do, control, have authority and power over the seen and unseen, then yeah, we ought to dig a little deeper and say, okay, so if maybe, excuse me, cold out there, folks. I'm got it myself. Um, so if we are in fact the architects of our existence, then it would seem like we have the ability to understand the elements here and how they impact over there. Anyway, we're going to have fun and we're going to enjoy it. Hello, everyone in the chat room. BC, what's happening? Stephen and Tori. I thought I seen Lucky in there. Greedy. Lost in Space. How are you, brother? Jackie, nothing missing, nothing broken, darling. Mark, good to see you. And Trina will be working tomorrow. She's working. Yeah, speak in favor over you, Trina. See you tomorrow, sweetie. Um, Cold enough for everybody. Hey, man, it's winter. Now, to the tribe down under, um, you know, think of Jules and quite a few others, CJ and others that, it's summertime. Yeah. I always think of war, in the summer. Summer. Anyway, uh, so enjoy it. It's supposed to be cold. Speaking favor over all those folks up in Iceland. Boy, is that just a bad situation. Just so, yeah. The Earth, baby. Hey, Gogo, all the way from Croatia. What's going, Joe? Good to see you. I am Nancy. How are you, Mad Cow? Hey, Mad Cow. Thinking about blueberries. So, um, I made. I think it was yesterday. No, Saturday. Um, Blueberry and strawberry compote, and oh man, it turned out great. And then we had blueberry pancakes yesterday. So, seems like blueberries are, you know. Everywhere around. Hello, Nina. How are you? Allison, good to see you. Hey, Brandon, what's up, brother? If Mary wins, much love to you, darling. Dave, good to see you as well. Man, everyone piling in. Was off for a couple of days. It was cold. Friday spent most of the day nursing back my back, my trapezoid muscle. I had I still, my body says we can do it. And, lifting up, about 130 pounds by yourself and getting it on the tractor anyway, it happens. But I heal fast. So, anyway, Bonnie, what's up? Good to see you. Hey, Gaia, good to see you. How's Paul? Good to see you. Uh, John, how are you doing? I've got Hey, buddy, that's what a fire is for, right? Linda Espinoza, how are you? Hey, Brenda, Street Mom. Lynn, good to see you. I'm still practicing. Yeah, I'll be doing um, a performance here within the next couple of months. So I just wanted to let you know. Suze Q, good to see you. Oh, I hope you're keeping warm. And hey, enjoy it. It's what winter's about. Uh, so giving things thought, and as I do, many of you do the same. we have the opportunity to come here and kind of hang out. Let's do this. What's going on? And Elderberry, how are you, brother? Good to see you. And we we're open-minded, free thinkers. It's interesting seeing sometimes comments that people leave, um, particularly the last one, and I'm going to continue on that. We're going to still discover where hell is, right? Um, and you know, and I can absolutely understand it. You're trapped in a paradigm that anything outside that paradigm, regardless whether the paradigm is or is not good, bad, etc. It's your paradigm, you're in it. And uh, whether it be good or bad, and to go outside your paradigm, well, that's difficult. It was difficult for me. Yeah. However, however, when that time comes and you set out to make that voyage, it's the Moody Blues thing. I love that song. And you're out there. You find out things, whether past lives or whatever. It's going to be different. And it was interesting. I was reading something. So I'll put this to everyone listening. And here's the question. So you are living today, correct? By the way, on Friday, I'll be celebrating my 25,000th day on planet Earth. Kind of a big deal, it really is. It's like, wow. Yeah, but anyway, um, Jesse, good to see you as well. Um, so uh, here's the question. And it's rather revealing because no matter what we think that we have been taught, where we're all destined to go, the vast majority of all of us are going to be surprised. That's we've been taught wrong about the transition. Give thanks for your life, no matter what it is, no matter how it turned out. Just give thanks for it. You got to do the experience. I tell Source, and we're going to actually read a letter here in a second from Josh, who it came from Source, and so I wanted to share it with the group. But the fact of the matter is, it's a transition that we're all going to make, and we have been taught to fear it. And which, again, it's crazy. And as I said, give thanks for the experience. I was meditating this morning and just kind of out there, walking amongst my thoughts. And, I keep giving this appreciative praise, and it's what it is. I'm so appreciative for the experience that I have here. It's exceeded all expectations. I got no regrets. I've got no unfulfilled expectations. It continually unfolds. And there was this thing this weekend, and when I saw this, actually I read it, I said, wow, I never thought about this. So here it is. Stop what you're doing and give this some thought. Be honest, because your honesty, whether you're honest with yourself or not, is still going to come out. So here is the question. What you are today, did you picture yourself today in your yesterday? This is really important. So looking at yourself today, without giving it much thought, how do you picture yourself before your death? Be honest. How old are you going to be? Now, the brain, see, the body has its own spirit, and each of us, we have this, you know, um, switch. The brain thinks it's immortal. And the reason why the brain thinks it's immortal is because we're inhabiting the brain. And the brain can reflect upon consciousness. It shares in that. And so each of us have this fail-safe program within us that we don't see ourselves dying. Everybody else, yeah, but not you. And this is a question that has been proven to really bear out. Do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? Old? Do you see yourself with gray hair? No hair? Do you see your skin suddenly losing the elasticity? And as the effects of aging continue, how do you picture yourself? Do you picture yourself that way? Is it, let's say, if you're in your 20s, do you go past 40? Does 60 become a challenge that is beyond your capability of picturing? Whatever it is, that kind of tells you how much longer you have on this earth. It's true. And see, I like that. Nina says I'm 29 forever. And we all think that. And it's interesting. And the reason why it is that because it's the other spirits, they look at us with great envy. Uh Joe says, I fear wasting my life more than fearing death or old age. Well, actually, aren't you speaking about one and the same? Isn't wasting away? Isn't that the contagion? Don't know, Joe. Everybody has their own point. Lori says, live to be very old and healthy and vibrant. Now, like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. It's kind of reflecting of who and what you really are. And it's interesting because if you see yourself making the transition, it's an amazing thing. You are in the rare minority because most people approach this in such, well, it's morbid. Not really. You're here for the experience, whatever the experience is. If we didn't have pain, we wouldn't know what joy is. If you didn't have sadness, you wouldn't know what gladness is. If you didn't have pain, it's your fail-safe of your body. Because if you don't feel pain, then you won't take care of your body. You won't pay attention to your body. And it's interesting because you're a spirit being. Bodies are not something we're good at. When I was years ago, decades, was really into deliverance ministry, would preach in the prisons and did a lot of street preaching. And you meet a lot of interesting people. And there were some people who, well, there were more occupying the penthouse than what the lease said. And I learned something that it appears that we, in our existence as spirit beings, are constantly, you could say, attacked by other spirits who want to have the same tactile experience. And it's interesting because you always go back to your mentors, your teachers back in the day, and Lester Summerall always comes to the forefront. I remember him saying, he said the reason why, now, of course, I was deeply into my former religion, but he said the reason why demons, when people are truly possessed, of another spirit, and it can and does happen. Um, the reason why they have such violent and odd reactions is that because the spirit is overwhelmed, the one that has moved in temporarily, and in some cases it almost seems permanently, but um, they don't know. When we came into these bodies, it took us a couple of years to figure them out. Took us a little while to figure out, how this whole walking thing, gravity thing worked, and and we don't perceive it now, but I'm just telling you, that's how you learned to work in unison with these bodies. Now, if a spirit tries to jump in, they don't know about the body. They don't understand the nervous system. They don't understand the complexity of the engineering of these body, these bioforms that are just fan fucking tastic. I mean, they really are. Uh, and so they have a very difficult time. Now, it kind of works vice versa as well. If you are like myself, curious about the supernatural, the paranormal, yeah, but I always like the supernatural because super is above para. So, hey Gilbert, what's up? I hear it's cold out there in Denver country. Yeah, the western's going on. I like rodeos, but anyway. So, getting back to this whole thing. So, if you've been taught wrongly in your perception of what the spirit realm is, and religions, well, that's what they do. And so you put it on autopilot. I don't need to think about it. I'm going to heaven, and that's all that matters. Okay. You might want to read the contract though, because apparently it does. And so I saw a lot of this. There is a thought or a belief that's out there that says that a lot of sickness is caused by other beings, evil, demonic. I would almost say angelic as well, because it's not held to that one room. But what that implies then is that there is this realm that we cannot perceive but exist because we coexist or they coexist with this realm. Now, as above, so below. So that would mean that if the spirit realm can interact on a physical basis in this realm, then it means as well is that I, in possessing a mortal body, I am immortal within myself, but my body is mortal. It seeks that immortality. The body wants to have the experience of what it's like on the other side. And I think the body has a right to that. I mean, it's scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. You know, works out. Everybody wins in the deal. And so we're going to be talking about that because the title of the show today, as y'all have seen, is that all right. So let's talk about authority, power over the spirits. Now, I bet you hadn't thought about this, but you do individually. You have immense power and authority over other spirits. And the interesting thing is that because we're not taught this, and from a perception of this point of view, that example, parents and children. Parents have the power and the authority over these new bodies, these new spirits, souls, however you want to define it. And that continues actually all the way through life, you know? Um, Another example, police badges. If a police officer, law enforcement, think about that, law enforcement shows you a badge, what are you going to do? Most people are going to pay attention, really. Your asshole gets tight real quick, doesn't it? Back in the days when they actually had cops in metropolitan areas where the cop always, it was in the center and would simply hold up his hand and traffic would stop. It's immense power. And he's using the authority that he doesn't question. We have that same ability. And if you look at it in the real big picture, I mean, you've got in relationships, huge dynamics going here. You have two independent energies that are in the process of blending. Now, in some of these things, you get abusive relationships where individuals become abusive. They become dominant, power, sometimes violent. What's happening here? You have one spirit attempting to dominate another spirit. It tells a lot about where that particular spirit may have come from. And maybe that is their purpose for being here. Who knows? It's really interesting. But nevertheless, if we were to shed these mortal bodies, then that residual form would be what? Right now, around you, around me, there are spirit beings. Many of them I don't know. Some I do. Most of us are unaware of them. We go through our lives and they're right there. Some of us call it our spirit guides, ancestors. They're here. They can see us. They interact with us. They apparently have the ability, in some cases, to avert death. It's quite amazing what happens. And there is this complete structure over there. What we gain here, and what's really important for a spirit, is to have some form of identity. And for myself, I have this record that, and if you've ever done videos, ever been out there where your image, your voice has been converted into frequency and sound waves, in this realm, it continues on. Isn't that far out? I love that. So the point being is I look at my coming up on 25,000 days. The reality is I've lived 25,000 different lives in the same body. The experience is mind-bending because as a spirit, I'm having this opportunity to see this power, this force. I'm living it. I'm experiencing it. I mean, if the afterlife is defined by the quality and the amount of memories that we carry with us, which apparently they do, then you can see the question that's been posed, is long life a curse? Now, there are those who have been here excess of almost 120 years. And they said yes. Their spirit longed to be released. They wanted to go join those to whom their memories are attached to. I mean, folks, this is fascinating stuff. Because if you can understand that you can control the spirit realm, do you know in the Bible it says that you can control God? Whatever that God is, it does. He says it. He says, command me this day. Now, if we are mortal and perfect, powerless beings, how can that control the fucking universe, the consciousness of everything? How does that work? And if I, who I am, can control it, I damn sure bet you I can control all the rest of it. Meaning angels, archangels, demons, lords, princes, principalities. I can die. In fact, that's what the fucking Bible says. Never read? Huh? Ephesians 6:12? One of the most interesting passages, if you lift it out and put it into purely the esoteric lens. That's just fucking powerful. It tells you what is waiting for us. I mean, folks, it's amazing. You know, we've done a lot of studying here. You know, the whole purpose of Solomon, you know, the lesser keys of Solomon, the story of what it represents, whether Solomon was or was not, is not the issue here. What is the issue is the fact that this is a mortal that controlled the neither world. This was a mortal that controlled the unseen realm. He was no different than you and I. Degree of knowledge, but that can be ascertained virtually by anybody. You may only get a fractal or a piece of it. Doesn't matter. You got a piece of it. It works. And if you can learn to convert that fractal, that piece, that fragment, I mean, you're going to be jacked up, buddy. I'm just telling you. And if you can begin to understand, and, you know, JD, for some reason, I have you in my head. If you can grasp the fact that it is not us who bows to them, it is they who bow to us. You see, we've done something they can't do. They've never done. Lucifer, Satan, Jesus. Well, Jesus may be the, if you believe in the paradigm, may be the exemption to the rule, but even the God itself has never been human. Now, if it's never fucking been human, then how can it dominate humans? Particularly when the fact that we are a blended spirit into the soul body realm. No God has done that. At least none that we know of. I mean, they certainly seem to want to be a part of that because they took on, you know, golems, avatars, where they could have sex with us. Because sex is really, really a big deal. Trust me, you get on the other side, you're going to be damn glad you had sex. I hope you have had sex. I mean, it's part of the reason. They know it. They just don't want you to know it. Gets back to this whole control thing. Controlling spirits. You don't like where your life is at? Start controlling the spirits. They exist. They're over there. But never bow down to them. If anything, tell them to kiss your ass. That's how it works. Because your superiority in the ascension process, whether you failed it here or not, because there is apparently a graduation and not everyone graduates. But nevertheless, you still accomplish something that, depending on your point of view, untold numbers of spirits will never experience. That makes you royalty. You may not see yourself as that. Even if you're the black swan, you're still royalty. And the problem is, as we've seen in this life, if you don't know how to use your power, control your power, someone else is going to use it. Someone's going to usurp that. You know, it's what makes the difference. Makes all the difference. The world right now is being controlled by things that, hey, you know, you can participate in that. Many different ways in which that power would love to have you as basically a straw right into your soul. But we've got to disassociate ourselves from that. There's nothing lasting in that. It's a broken system. And it's a good warning for us to be prepared on that other side. Because apparently there's the same type of power broker system that exists on the other side. We're just a mirror. Works both ways. You know, it's just the fact. So, they often say, if you got ears to ear, one of the things that I'm also appreciative, I am grateful for the experience of life, that I've had that rare favor to absorb the knowledge and at the same time not form it into a dogma for myself. When the core broke on my paradigm of Christianity and everything associated in kind with it, you know, it's kind of really up to you. What are you going to do? And the spirits are watching. Apparently, they take wagers. You got those who are for you, got those who are against you. You just better hope that those who are for you outnumber those who are against you. But anyway, when you get down where you're broken, you can't take anymore. You cry, you're frustrated, you're angry, and you're just fed up with it all, and you realize every fucking thing that I believed that I had fashioned my life into was a lie, an illusion. You got the spirit realm going, and that's when you really attract more than just your ancestors, your kin, your friends. Because now they want to see, what's he going to do? What's she going to do? Is it really going to give up? And most of us here are fighters. We're not survivors. We're thrivers. We thrive through adversity that was inflicted upon us. Whether we did it or not doesn't matter. It's the fact that we survive. Not only do we survive, we thrive from it. We're stronger. And that commands respect. But if you don't expect the respect, then you're going to get the disrespect, right? What I'm trying to say is that the world may be a true circus, but it's really to us, how do we participate? I didn't read where the rule book said that we couldn't form our own circus. I like that idea. In the sense that we're royalty of the spiritual nature, we're eternal beings. Good God, man and woman, wake up. You're a fucking god, a goddess, a true badass. in every aspect. You see, spirits marvel when they see how much you endured, how much you have that ability to continually, always rise from the ashes, as it would seem. And even a more marvel is that you're not bitter, not angry, you don't seek to inflict. They're sitting back going, what the fuck? And on your passing, you're going to realize that. I do believe, and it's been bore out depending on whether you believe or not, there is receptions for each of us. And while we know that some of this is, in fact, you have to derive it from the story itself. I mean, the whole paradigm of today is this thing called the Holy Spirit, implying that if there is something holy, then it's a spirit, and somehow or another, a spirit is of a higher degree. Now, the interesting thing that I often found was that I was to invite the Holy Spirit in. I was to be baptized in the Holy Spirit by the evidence of speaking in tongues. That was the deed, was my golden ticket. I embraced it. And then the next thing I knew, I was endowed by supernatural powers. I could lay hands on the sick. I could interpret tongues. I could prophesy. I could have words of wisdom. I could receive wisdom. Pretty powerful stuff, if you ask me. Now, what I found out was that it works no matter what. So the question is, well, so do you still have the Holy Spirit? I don't know. Apparently, it digs what I'm digging, so I would probably say it's pretty much more open-minded than what it has been perceived to be. I don't know. But folks, this stuff is real. This is no bullshit. And that's why we have fun here. So we have the ability. I remember the times of binding demons. I remember loosening angels. Put them on their mission. In fact, you're commanded in the Bible to send these messengers on missions. You control them. They will fulfill what you command them to do. But you see, if you don't believe it, then they don't have to obey because they know you don't believe what you have to say. And so to have that, they're just going to go astray. Said Lucky says, did the Holy Spirit give you the power, or did you just turn on the power within your belief of the Holy Spirit? It's an interesting question. You see, when that charismatic movement was going through the world, that was right around 1978, 79, 80, that time frame. And so, Lucky, I'm trying to answer your question, is that we took the message that on the day of Pentecost, the 120 in the upper room spoke in tongues. Speaking in tongues is the language of the angels, and that this was associated with the coming down of the Holy Spirit there in the upper room. And then Paul took over from there and really brought it out more that this was really this supernatural gift. And it's really interesting because I look at now from more of an esoteric point of view. Well, what's the difference here? You're right. Look at it. Was it just that I had that ability already? Was it because I was open enough to it? I don't know. So what an experience, though. And the thing I can say is that this Holy Spirit never harmed me. Could say in many ways it made me rich. Rich just not being physical. I mean, no. Wisdom is the true wealth of the soul. If you got that, the riches follow. It just does. And I believe it carries over into the realm on the other side. So, yeah, I'm appreciative of the experience. It taught me a lot. Yeah. So if it works there, should work here. And it does. It does. It does. All right. Let me get this letter I want to get read to you. I mean, and again, Josh, we love you. Thank you, man. It's what it's all. Hey, Pearl Jones, what's up, darling? Good to see you. Blazin says, my aunt and uncle were music ministers for many, many charismatic services. Yeah, there was some powerful stuff in those days. I just got to tell you, freaking powerful. I mean, I fucking saw the angels. I mean, I saw them right there. And the thing about it was, I wasn't alone. Dozens of other people in this auditorium saw the same thing. I mean, when you begin to hear music and there's no music in the auditorium, that's some powerful stuff. Make the back of your hair stand up in the back of your neck. It's electrified. We don't have that today. That's the one thing that I do say that occult studies will at least show you, if you can't find it in a group, you can find it within yourself. That same power. And once you're exposed to it, you never forget it. I mean, I look at it as like we were plugged into a force, an energy that was charismatic. Anyway, gotta love it. Gotta love it. So here we go. Da, 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 da. All right. So wanted to share that with you. So here we go. Who is God? God is a creation of the human race. Give me 1 second as he goes down here. Let's kind of bring that over here. There we go. Why has the human race created God? It would appear that we are the ones who create these beings, and we give them life. So the source answers and says, in order to attempt to understand what they have forgotten and cannot fully grasp or explain. Remember that Memorex commercial? The guy sitting there and blown away. So humans create God in order to attempt to understand what they have forgotten and cannot fully grasp or explain. Can you elaborate on that, please? And this is Joss as an intermediary. The response back. Humans have needed to understand where they have come from as long as humanity has existed. This need to understand, it has caused them to search outside themselves for something that has created them. Each human has come up with their own gods. No two humans have ever believed in the same God. They may join in a religion and say that they believe in a certain God. However, it is not possible for them to believe in the exact same thing. Therefore, they cannot believe in the same God. Yes, there is something out there that has created everything within your existence. However, it's not what you are taught. You see, everything that is in existence is first created within each and every human. Your reality is just that, your reality. There are no two identical realities, even within your reality, let alone outside your reality. If you want to change your reality, all you must do is have a different thought from the one that you are currently having. Humanity creates God because of the circumstances that they create within their own lives. Nowadays, this is not the fault of most humans. They are simply doing as they were taught. Humanity needs to learn who they are before they can understand where God has come from. Until a human learns to look within to find the answers, they will always look to the external for the answer of which they have created within their mind to attempt to get themselves to look within. Does this make sense? Yes, this does make sense. So, what you're saying is that I'm actually creating the dialogue that we are having right now as a way for me to understand that the answers I am looking for are already within. Precisely. You already know this, though. You have known this for a long time now. You are just unwilling to accept it because of those that you loved around you, you that are still lost. Even though you have created them within them yourselves, you have created their pain, their sorrow, their joy, their happiness. You have created everything that is within you. You are the reason that they are who they are. You are the reason that they are lost, and the only way that can guide them down the right path to finding themselves. That's intense. Why would I do this? I don't want to make anyone suffer. I want happiness for all. I want peace for all. Why would I make this world that has so much suffering? The reason that you create this suffering is because you yourself have a deep innate need to feel needed and helpful. You also realize subconsciously that you are truly alone in this existence, and the only way to not be alone is to create a reality that allows you to feel. If you do not feel the pain, you cannot feel the joy. You cannot feel the happiness. None of these can be realized or felt on their own fruition. You cannot feel joy without sorrow. You cannot feel sorrow without pain and joy. You cannot feel pain without ecstasy and relief. None of this can be realized without the creation of external stimuli. There must be an external force. So you create this external force. You created a person to break your heart. You created the birth of children or the creation of life so that you can feel love and ecstasy. You created murder and death to create sorrow. You created it all within yourself. Every single situation that is within the world outside you has come from the world you created within you first. Pretty deep stuff. Think of it this way. If you cease to exist, can the world that was created within your mind any longer exist? If someone else were to create the same world that you have, then they would be you. Just as if you were to create someone else's world, then you would be them. The fact that you have created everyone else within your existence means that no matter what, you are also them because of their story and their interactions that they share with you. They only share with you. You only know their existence and their lives because of what they share with you. If there is anything else going on in their life that you do not know about, then it's not your reality. This world that you think you are living in is but an illusion that you have created. It is simply a movie that you have produced that is playing out on the TV screen. That is your vision. Vision. Television. By the way, I'll just inject this. I had this thought this weekend. So think about the people in your past. Think about when you were 18, 19. Now, for many people, there's shifts that's crossing in the night. But here's the interesting thing. You see, those people are immortal. They've never aged. Now, in another reality, they have. But in my reality, they've never aged. The same girl that I went to the concert with, and I can go on and on, has never aged. And here's the interesting thing, neither have I. Mm, neither have you. We continue. You know, when I look back at the life that I remembered, this really begins to make sense. We bring ourselves into this world in order to have an experience that we couldn't have had otherwise. I, have created each and every person, animal, object within this existence so that I can learn only what that person and that scenario could teach me. Think about this. Those people are still alive. They're still alive. It's quite amazing, and so are you. I've made them all believe as I needed them to so that I can help them to find out as much as they can in their existence. Every person in my existence is only here to teach me what it is that I needed to learn in that moment. I've had 25,000 of them. So have you on a daily basis, one a day. But we know multiply that out each day. They are just supporting cast that I am the main character. If any of them did not exist, then I would not be the person that I am at this moment. Something about me would be different. And to all those people, it's like Julio Iglesias and Willie, to all the women we have loved, the memories. It all played a role, a part. I mean, that to me is the source, the creator of consciousness. That this beautiful orchestration that I myself am the conductor of, as you are. Source answers and said, that is correct. You see, there is nothing other than you. This is why when you are isolated, things are difficult. It reminds you of your true existence. It reminds you of how things were before you created this existence. This is the reason why most people don't remember their previous existence as well. That, however, is about to change. The next time around, when you decide to end this movie that you are currently in, you are going to remember the ones that came before the new ones. You have reached this stage now where we start to put the whole puzzle back together. The current you is the turning point away from division and back to unity of the whole. The only way for this to happen is to remember the all of every existence, to remember that you are the all, and that you have lived out every existence of everything in every reality that you have created within the reality that is all. Joshua asks the question, how do I go about waking others up to this reality? Source responds, you just answered your own question with that question. You begin to question their reality. Ask them if you could exist without them. Ask them if the vision of you that they have grown to know would ever exist if they did not exist within your reality and vice versa. Wow. That's deep. Ask them if you didn't exist, then would they be living the same reality that they currently are? Ask them if there is any way that they could possibly have learned everything that they have if they did not meet every single person that they have, or if they had not had every single experience that they have had. Ask them the question of change. If you were to change one thing in your life, would you be exactly what you are today? Or would this current version of you have never existed and been replaced by another version. Wow. I'm grateful for everything. I mean, you just can't have, you just go out and you just want to start singing a song, It's like, I am so freaking grateful. You already know all of this, and this is why you are typing this out. I am you, you are me, we are one. Sounds like John 17, doesn't it? Remember when that came to you. Remember when your brain broke and it seemed like someone took control of you so that you would type those words and a whole lot more? You are the sole creator of your existence. You have created a conglomerate of other souls to help you create this existence. However, you are the one that created them. So that makes you the sole creator. Your brain did not actually break. You just allowed it to function to an extent that you had not allowed it to function before. You allowed your mind to open for a period like you had never done before. Now you do it all the time. It has become part of your existence as you begin to remember who you are. And I just want to say here, all of us can see spirits. All of us can hear them. You just got to turn it on. Now, this one is interesting. I'm out here reading it, so it's out there. It says, if you are reading this, then you are a vision of the one that is writing this who needs to remember as well. It is time to start planning our journey back to the singular source. Mr. Steiger, we have not communicated in a while, at least not in this way in this existence. There were some things that needed to happen before we came to you again in this way. But it is time once again for Joshua to reach out to you with this message. It is time for this message to get out so that we can all get back to remembering who we truly are. This movie is nearing completion, and this time we would prefer that it has a happy ending. No more pain and suffering, no more fear, pain, or sorrow. It is time for joy, happiness, and the constant feeling of love and ecstasy that humanity, as we all know, has never experienced. Remember, if you're reading this, as with everything you have ever read or listened to, they were all messages of the true Creator, the source of all creation that dwells within you and only you. Nothing has ever happened by chance. It was all created by decisions that came from within you. The energy that can only emit from within you is the frequency of your and only your existence. Your signature frequency is the base frequency of all the frequencies within your own existence. This is why as you add more and more material things to your life, things begin to get more hectic. The more things that you add, the further away from your base frequency your existence begins to deviate. This is why it's important to remove the things from your life that no longer serve your true divinity. This is why people in your life come and go, why everything in your life is constantly changing. We are all trying to find that balance, trying to do our part in turning back into the source of frequency. Okay, so that was a bit more than the question I asked. You did ask how to wake other versions of yourself up. Did you not? I did. Well, and I'm going to go finishing this, so I may go a little bit over. Well, I think if you read back over that, not only did we give you the answer, but we also gave you the direction that will help you the quickest. You yourself, you yourself do not have the reach that Mr. Steiger has with his channel. This is why you created him in your existence in the first place. Heck of a job, Josh. I like it. You knew you would need someone that has the reach that he has got to get this message out. So do it. Send him this message and do your part in bringing us back together in synchronicity. This is why you are here. This is why you are living this life. Not to sit there being the IT project manager. You are there to bring about the change to the new world. Remember, I am you, you are me, and we are one. Remember, be the frequency that you want to be and be the change that you want to see. It's up to you, my friend, and it always has been up to you. Remember that if you are hearing this or reading this, it is your time to hear this message. You are creating this message at this time so that you can hear it or read it. Yes, someone else is in your existence has written it down so that others within your existence could read it or hear it. However, it could never exist without your existence if you did not create it and the person that wrote it down to create you. Joshua says, thank you for this information. I know that it has always been within me. However, I'm truly grateful that you have chosen this time for me to remember. With the turmoil that I have created in my existence, or as right now, a change is greatly needed. I now fully realize that I am the only one that can create that change, as I am the only one to blame for the turmoil as I know it. To anyone that is reading and hearing this message, remember gratitude and love is the way to have a more positive existence. Always love everything within your reality, no matter how horrible it may seem. It is there to teach you how to love. Always be grateful for everything within your existence as well, for without just one thing in it, it would no longer be your existence. Stop getting angry when things seem like they are not going your way, because the only way that they can go is your way. You are the one creating them. You create the circumstances and the choices that you make in those circumstances. No one else can change your world. Only you can. Once we all start believing that only we can make the change and stop waiting for others to do so for us, will we be able to lift up as one frequency and resonate together as you and we have been designed to be. I thank each and every one of you for taking the time to receive this message. I am truly grateful for each and every one of you and what you have brought to the creation of this existence. It would not be the same without each and every one of you. I love you all and know that at least part of this message will resonate with each and every one of you. May love and gratitude always be in your hearts and minds and souls. Wow. If that doesn't lift you up, I don't know. We need to do a resurrection, right? Powerful, powerful, powerful. So I thank each and every one of you. I look at the names and I'm going, it's true. I've kind of created an avatar. I may not even seen your picture before, but by your words alone do I associate your energy. Powerful stuff, folks. Woo! If you don't pass this on, I don't know. Woo, man, I tell you what, that just gives you just chills all over. Wow. Woo. I mean, that's powerful. Okay. Well, thank you all. Woo. Man, you read that, and you just go, because it's true. And it gives me an even more deep appreciation for all of you. Yeah. Think about that. Yeah. All right, everyone. Take a deep breath. Go. Deep breath. All right. There you go. Woo. Yes, thank you for hitting the like button on the way out. And I'll be here with hopefully Trina and Jenny tomorrow Jenny, I know we're going to be taking care of you, so we'll be seeing you for sure. Wow. All right, everybody. Hey, Brian, what's up? That's some good stuff, man. That's all I got to say. Whew. All right. Much love to everybody, and be the frequency you want to be, make the change that you want to be. I love that. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it, brother. Right back at y'all. All right, man. I mean, I'm just going to have to get up and just, kind of shout, give myself a high five and go, wow, think about it. The creation of all things is thinking about you. Woo. Mm-mm-mm. My, my, my.